Welcome to Arsenal above all. Wow. We had to do an impromptu show after that. We had to do an impromptu show. Wow. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0. Chelsea finally getting some payback, proper slaps. We owed them that. We owed them that for a long time, and it was beautiful to see. I've got Steve here with me tonight to give the team their flowers. They deserve it. What a performance! And we've got that to look forward to as well. The big one after that sets us up really nicely. So before all of that, let's go. Steve, how you doing, man? How you feeling after that sensational performance by, dare I say it, champions-elect Arsenal?
You know what, yeah? They needed one of those, didn't they? Let's be honest. Come on, they needed one of those. Just to put them in their place, they needed one of those. When I saw the lineup, I was very pleased with it. It was great to see Partey back in midfield. It does make you wonder if clearly Arteta and the staff thought he wasn't, so that's why he didn't play. But could he have been risked for the Champions League against Bayern? Because he just offers that something different. Those passes between the lines. But
massive difference. Massive difference. I mean, we said in the last show, myself, Neil, and Melvin, that maybe his return would unlock, Declan Rice, and that was evident in the first goal, wasn't it? The run he made, the way he slotted in, Trossard, and it looked like he took a bad touch, but then he did the business with a finish at the near post. What can you say about Trossard? Again, another goal. There was a moment where he was geeing up the fans in the first half. He looked like he's got the real bit between his teeth, and he's kind of got me feeling of like Wiltord, in that run where he just came up clutch and he just came up with these big goals. It gives Arteta a really things to think about. With Martinelli obviously coming in, he fluffed his lines a bit, but before that, what do you think of Trossard and just the way he sort of was on the front foot?
What? He's been really impressive the last few games. He wants it, doesn't he? You can see he's up for it. You can see even when he got that tackle. It was a clean tackle. There wasn't nothing wrong with it. But he then, gestured to the crowd like, "Come on, this is us. This is us. This is what we want." He was on it, and his goal. God, keeper should. It's the keeper's near post. You've got to save those ones. They say. At first, I thought it was a nutmeg. I was calling my son, just saying to him, "Look, kid two, come on, look at that. He's nutmegged him." And he went. When we saw from the final angle, he was like, "Okay, no, he didn't." But it's still a great finish. It's low. It's hard. The guy is on form. The guy is on form, and he looked good. And well taken goal. Brilliant from Rice. Carried the ball well, just to slot him in, and Partey is in there as well, and it starts on the right hand side of the pitch and makes its way over to the left, and in a flash, 4 minutes, and it's in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was just a perfect start. This is exactly what we needed. 4 minutes, in. You think these are the Chelsea side that, in the first half they had their moments. We had ours. Obviously, it was a bit of a basketball game at sometimes in that first half, but they had their moments. They had a couple of chances. I mean, Nicholas Jackson. I mean, wow. I'm just glad he doesn't play for us. But geez, man, guy was just so hit and miss. It's just like what sort of scouting? I mean, I don't know what's happened to the Brighton scouting. I imagine they identified him, and they just found the turd really. I mean, and having said that, he still ended up scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham, didn't he, away from home? But again, this is a Chelsea side that have not lost in the league since February. So they've been on a run. I think there were 4 draws and 4 wins. And they've turned up against the big sides so far this season. Obviously, we drew with them away, and then obviously they've beaten Man United. Obviously, how funny that was, that game. They've drawn twice with City. They've beaten Tottenham. So they're no mugs when it comes to the big games. But, I think after that first half, where it looked like, okay, it came at the right time, because I think, again, it was still a little bit stretched and they were still having their moments, a little bit dangerous in certain instances. But that second half, man, I mean, I'm going back again, but that night when Henry scored the 4 goals against Leeds, and that performance we put in, I think we won that one 5-0 as well. It was just a clinic, really. It was just a way where you could see a team that had been coached really well and worked as a unit against a bunch of individuals that had just been thrown together and just doing their own thing. Yeah, man. I mean, what can you say? Your boy Ben White had a very eventful game. He didn't seem to like his ex bumping into his ex teammates at Brighton. I thought he'd be having a little little chuckle and a little where they talk like that behind the hands or something. It's none of that. He was like he was just didn't want them to know. What was his performance was in the first half again. He was playing he played some amazing passes again, and I think in the commentary they said the thing about Ben White isn't his pace and him going up and down. It's the timing of his runs that he makes when Saka goes inside. But yeah, what about him and his little running with Cucurella with that corner which led to the goal. But what was your thoughts on his performance? Because again, he was just outstanding, and it puts pressure on a certain England manager, isn't it? When a right back is scoring goals and putting in performance like that.
I'm a huge Blanco fan. Benny White. His first goal was it's composure. That one is composure, and the second one totally meant it. I've seen it a couple of times now, and he meant to do that. You could just see the way he shaped his body, the way he's hit it with the inside of his boot. He totally meant that. And if he says he meant it, or then he meant it, because he's Ben White, and that's what he does. He looks a bit sheepish in that picture, Mike. I'm not gonna. But yeah, no, he meant it. He's only meant it. He's Ben White. He's Benny Blanco, and another top performance. Look, just to comment on Chelsea's midfield, right? Enzo costs how much? Over 100 million, wasn't he?
Yeah, 105.
So Zeno costs how much? Over 100 million.
100, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have bad games, to be perfectly fair to them. They were just overawed by our midfield in terms of Odegaard's running and his passing. God, that guy can pass a ball. He's gonna find you in that final third. Partey in between the lines, he's so calm. If we can find somebody like him that is fit and doesn't get injured as much, I'm sure everybody in world football will want him as well. But yeah, he's just different. And again, I'll finish with Ben White. It's consistency. People sometimes overlook performances and don't look at the consistency. And he is consistent. Our team has been consistent. And, I know there's been a lot of talk about Saka in recent weeks and stuff like that. But he's available consistently. Not every performance is going to be a marquee performance. Not every performance is going to be the performance that we need him to be, or where we expect him to be, that he should be doing it week in, week out. It just doesn't happen like that, especially for somebody so young as him. He has got the minutes, and yes, people compare him to people like Cole Palmer and Foden and stuff like that, and go, well, Cole Palmer has got 20 goals, whatever it is this season. Saka's like flagging behind. Collectively, we have been consistent, and that is the key. So yes, Cole Palmer can get 20 goals. That's an individual award. He's still not won anything.
It's the whole. Yeah, it's a whole individual, against the team, isn't it? Individual's just been on fire since the start of the year. Cole Palmer scored more goals than anyone since January, and you're putting him up against a team that have been the most consistent, this calendar year. A team, individuals as well, but mainly a team. Like you said, Saka hasn't pulled up trees really for the last couple of games, or maybe 3 or 4 games, but he's chipped in with a goal or 2 and an assist. But you're right. It's a team. It's an individual like Cole Palmer, who knows what maybe he would have done tonight. It might have caused us a few more issues, but I think overall, we would have still had too much for them. And then obviously, once we got that second goal, things just opened up. And as you said, Odegaard was outstanding. I mean, it was almost like he had a combination. He had ballet shoes on at one point, and then he had tap dancing shoes on others. And his feet was just so quick, and occasionally overplayed a couple of times, which he likes to do. A couple of times where he should have shot and maybe should have released the pass, but he tried to do a little flick again. But second half, he was just outstanding. That pass to Havertz, and who got the goal, so he completes the hat-trick of ex-players scoring against their old teams. Neil would be happy with that because he called that in the last show. So well done, Neil. Sensational finish for him, and the second goal as well. So him and Ben White. But again, in that number 9 role, he got in a couple of times in the first half. But it's just fantastic, really. Now that we, apart from Timber, and obviously we'll mention him. Obviously, what he did yesterday. We've got a full squad, and everybody looks like they've got the bit between their teeth. The only concern was probably Gabriel going down and looking like he was carrying something. He had a bit of a shaky second half. There were a couple of times where, if you notice, he had the ball and he kind of held on to it a little bit too long, and then he made a couple of iffy passes. So I don't know whether he's carrying something. And obviously, if he was badly injured, they would have taken him off at that time, right? That the fact that he continued, I think, kind of said that he should be okay with a little bit of rest. But yeah, what's your thoughts on just Kai Havertz and just how he's answered so many critics, and especially those who were in the away end, who quickly escaped after that goal.
Into the stadium.
Yeah. We'll say stadiums are empty everywhere we go, but away ends are empty everywhere we go as well. So,
look, that was a well taken goal, and the ball over the top. It's peach. He still has a lot of work to do, Havertz, there. To be perfectly fair, Cucurella's on him, and he does just enough to hold him off, and then fire it into the roof of the net. Well taken goal. A little mention on Havertz. He was in a couple of times in the first half, and but he keeps on trying, doesn't he? Keeps on trying, and he got his just rewards today. Good finish. It was almost similar to the one against us against Villa the other day, when Emile Smith-Rowe was tracking back, and then Ollie Watkins scored. It's just the difference between that and this goal is Havertz has a lot more to do in terms of beating off Cucurella. Smith-Rowe's only been on the pitch at that point for about 5 minutes. Cucurella's been on the pitch the whole game pretty much. So it makes it even more difficult because he's got the feel of the game, Cucurella. And, for somebody, I'm going to say what Neil said, because Neil said it in the last pod. I don't like him either.
He's a horrible individual.
Yeah. And you know what? Again, I'm guessing, look, if he's on your team, you probably don't mind it. But yeah, he's Ben White didn't show him any love as an ex-Brighton mate. Saka didn't show him any love. Havertz didn't show him any love, and he got his booking for acting like a petulant little child. So well played to Kai Havertz. Great finish, top finish. It's not easy. Like I said, those ones are not easy when you've got a defender, trying to track you down and pull you back and trying to put you off and stuff like that. You still have to remain composed, and he just rifled it into the top of the net. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, and it was good at that point that we really sort of wanted to focus on keeping a clean sheet. There was a bit at the end when Gabriel got the ball out and he's screaming to the fans and stuff and everything, and it's just fantastic to see. And we had loads of chances still, didn't we? You know, I think Rice hit the post, but I don't know whether I think he was offside. Martinelli came on, and he could have got a couple as well, and what have you. Obviously, there was that situation in the first half where the ball hit the keeper from a deflection. Andy McCoy was raving about it, saying, "You know, it's amazing save. It wasn't. It hit him. He didn't have a clue about it. I don't know what he's talking about." I think Andy McCoy, I think the stick is rubbing off a little bit, wearing off a little bit, because he's very excitable, and every game is the greatest game and he's ever seen, and and he's just a bit too enthusiastic, and I think that's just wearing thin a little bit. And he said that Ben White's second goal was, he didn't mean it, but he's someone that still is adamant that Dennis Bergkamp didn't mean his goal against Newcastle. So we can kind of take that with a pinch of salt. I'm sure you're going to say Ben White meant that. He looked up, saw the keeper off his line, and done him. So I think Saka did something like that similar against Chelsea as well when we turned things around under Arteta.
Don't forget, Ben White has been compared to Dennis Bergkamp many a times because of the footballing brains that they have. They're just so great. He totally meant it. He totally said, you can tell by his body shape and everything. What else could you do in that situation? There was nobody really rushing into the box.
Yeah,
in the back of the net.
Yeah, but we had the chances. He made lots of substitutions. Yeah, Fabio Vieira came on, looked lively. So he had a good effort. Looked like he scored, but everyone just seemed to have a good night. And I think it's massive. I think we go to Sunday and with confidence. They would have been watching that. Obviously Liverpool and City now, we hand it over to them. Obviously Liverpool have Everton, which is going to be a big night there, because obviously they need the points as well. I'm not expecting Everton to do us any favours at all, but you never know. You never know what can happen. All it takes is for them to just draw. We don't need them to lose. Same with City. We just need them to draw one of the last games, and we just do what we need to do. But we just have a look at this because it looks nice at the moment. So obviously, 3 points clear. Well, Liverpool that play tomorrow, 4 clear or City. So again, that's all we're just doing all that we can do. Just win our games, and if it's enough, then it's enough. If we let ourselves down, then which I doubt. I don't think so now. I think the Tottenham game, we know we have to step up and meet fire with that one, and then just have the quality to beat that high line, which I'm sure they're going to have at some point. It'd be interesting to see if he doesn't do that, Postecoglou, because he stands by his principles. That's how we play, right? We're Highline FC, and
of course, mate.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. It'd be fascinating to see if he all of a sudden drops deep and they have a mid block and everything else, and then just try and hit us in the counter. And it just kind of shows that all the stuff that he was talking about before was just all bravado, wasn't it? It was just him trying to get in with the Tottenham fans after they got embarrassed by Chelsea, of all teams, when they lost that game. So what's your thoughts going forward, Steve, in terms of the lineup? The team that we had tonight was pretty much the strongest I think he could pick, especially at the back. I think for now, obviously Timber, I don't think he's going to really feature now. He's going to probably just leave him till next season. But is that basically that team is the team that starts the remaining games now? There's absolutely no point to do any sort of rotation. Or what would you do? Or Jesus came in. He looks like doing his flicks and tricks again. Looked lively. That's his job now.
By Jesus in that turn no look pass by Jesus, they were all raving about it on TNT as well. Again, his hold up play is I don't want to say it, but his hold up play as a centre forward is actually decent. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just when we need him to put the ball in the back of the net or to be in those areas where he's going to get those 6, 8 yard, 10 yard goals, Unfortunately, he's not there, but his hold-up play is brilliant. I think
Yeah.
if we, against Tottenham, I think the lineup picks itself. I don't see why you should rotate it. I know there might be calls to have Martinelli on for his pace. If he had scored tonight, it would have been a good shout. If he had scored that goal when he's through on, then maybe you can go, yep, I'll stick him on. But Trossard started, he scored, clinical goal, important first goal, just to set the tone. There's no point changing it. Everyone, if Partey's fit and can play, he's fit and plays. If Rice is fit, I don't see why it wouldn't be. But if everybody's fit that play tonight, then that's who starts. You can bring on Martinelli in the second half when their players are a bit more tired, and again, hoping that his pace will unlock other players as well. But yeah, the team starts. I mean, like I said, I get if Martinelli starts for the pace side of things, so I get it if he does start. But yeah, everybody else picks themselves. Tonight was a strong performance.
Yeah, it was another statement win. Got the goals column up as well. Goals for column. That's huge. And a performance that on the night where we pay tribute to Sir Chips Keswick, it was good that we put in a performance like that. A performance he would be proud of, obviously, as well. So a fantastic performance. One more London derby to go. Let's hope it's one similar to the one tonight. We know what we're going to face and everything, and they're going to be doing everything they can to derail our charge. But if we play, remotely, like in a half, like it was basically a half of football where we blew them away tonight. And if we do that against them defensively, then they won't be able to keep us out. I don't think. We just got to make sure Gabriel is 100%, obviously as closest to 100% as we can, because he does definitely look like he was carrying something. But
even tonight, even tonight, I was just, again, we go 5-0 up, even at 4-0. He kept Odegaard on, and and they're going. You probably could have got away with taking him off 10, 15 minutes earlier. I get why he wants to keep him on. And Odegaard himself will probably want to stay on, but you just go. All it takes is one bad tackle, because if you look at that bad tackle by Jackson on Tomiyasu, for example, don't know how that wasn't a red card.
That was unbelievable.
Studs showing, foot over the top of the ball. Everything says about it is a red card, but but all it takes is one of those, and he's injured. Do you know what I mean? And we don't need that sort of. We don't need to take those risks when you're 5-0 up. And did Odegaard get his first assist tonight at home?
He did. He got 2 assists tonight, and they were the first 2 that he's had at home in the league, which is insane, really. The way he's been playing, and also David Raya got the golden glove as well, because he's got too many clean sheets for anyone else to catch up to him. So, and you think he's not played the first 4 games as well. So, amazing, great achievement for him, especially with when he came in, it was an up and down, and it was like a little mini soap opera with members of the Ramsdale family making comments and what have you about him and stuff and everything, and hopefully he just gets stronger from here. He came out and stopped a few issues as well, when Chelsea looked like they were going to break through, but no, congratulations to him, and congratulations to Odegaard as well, just on getting those assists and just being absolutely outstanding. And we just got to hope that the buzz from tonight, it just continues. And again, they know what they're going to be coming up against. They're not going to be surprised. We've beaten them there last year. We shouldn't beat them this year, but we were sloppy. Jesus missing that chance when with an open goal, and then obviously Jorginho. So I think we'll go there and we'll have our head switched on. But so let's see what happens. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the impromptu chat. We just had to give the team the flowers and document this, because it's an amazing performance and things that we're doing at the moment, and the football as well.
Our biggest win against them since like, I don't know, in a whole lifetime, basically.
Yeah, biggest win against them in the Premier League. I think it's definitely the biggest win against them in the Premier League, because we've beat them a few times, but it's always been, they're always in the game, and then we kind of pull away. That was before their money arrived, and then they made it harder, obviously, against us. And we knew what they did with Wenger's 1000th game or whatever they did to us at Stamford Bridge. So hold that, Todd Bowley, and keep spending another $1 billion and see where that gets you. But no, thanks, Steve. We'll be back after the North London derby, and hopefully we'll be talking about another 3 points, and what will be just 3 more games to go. So let's see. But thanks for all the support. Thanks, Steve. Have a good rest of the week, and come on, you Reds.
Man, remember, Giroud into the box, and they have immediately.